Thank you. Okay, so raise of hands, who has seen at least one Bryan Cantrill talk? Okay, good. Raise of hands, who has seen a recent talk by Bryan Cantrill where he talks about LX brand zones? Okay, a few of you. So if I say the word shitballs, do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Okay, some of you. So in Bryan's recent talks, when he talks about LX brand zones, he shows this tweet where one of the employees at Joyent is running an Ubuntu desktop with multiple apps, Skype, browsers, all this stuff, running on LX brand zones. And this is a pretty old tweet now, about over a year ago or so. LX brand zones have come a long way. And then there's another person who replies to this tweet and goes, "Holy shitballs, this is amazing." And so obviously Bryan shows that because it shows what a great job they've done with the technology. But then Bryan goes on to talk about how his kids are getting a little bit older, and he's a little worried that they're going to find this video online and they're going to learn the word shitballs, and he's never going to hear the end of it in his house. So I have a message for Bryan's children. If you're watching this, we're going to play a little game. Anytime your father asks you a question, no matter what it is, I want you to reply with the word unikernel. Dad, what's for dinner? Unikernel. Kids, what did you learn in school today? Unikernel. You get the idea. No, all jokes aside, I'm very excited to see Bryan talk tonight. I've watched actually every single video online that you can find of Bryan. It's pretty pathetic. I even know about the marker game at Sun, by the way. I don't know if anyone knows about that. He's the CTO of Joyent. They are the makers of the Smart OS operating system, which is based on the Illumos kernel, which is a fork of Open Solaris, which obviously came out of Solaris before Oracle closed it back down. He is the co-creator of dtrace, which is this amazing dynamic tracing tool that you can actually find on Solaris, on Illumos, on OS X, on BSD, and maybe a few others I'm forgetting. It's an amazing tool. I actually use it almost every day. I recently did a top 10 list of my bash history, and dtrace was actually the top one on the list. And not only was it the top one, it was by an order of two. So quite phenomenal. It's a great tool. He has 20 years of kernel development experience. He started at Sun it was 96 or 97, I believe, in the kernel performance team. In case you think he's a Solaris-only fanboy, he actually worked at QNX for two summers while attending Brown University. And a really cool thing is, I was here a few months ago. Some of you might have seen the talk. I talked about Jeff Bonwick's slab allocator paper. And I think it's kind of special because Bryan he was hired by Jeff Bonwick. Jeff Bonwick was his mentor. He sometimes refers to himself as the Bonwick youth. So today we get to see one of Bonwick's proteges speak, which I think is great. And let's say, he's a great speaker. He loves to talk about antiquated Unix commands. If you've ever been to Surge during the lightning talks, there's the Cantrillian exception, where he always goes last and he gets to talk as long as he wants, because you're not going to stop him. And one thing I really appreciate about Bryan's talks is he always likes to bring history, provenance into his talks. He doesn't just talk about the thing currently, he talks about how did it come to be, and I think that's shown with the fact that he's also talking about jails and not just zones today. He's known for his epic rants, obviously, if you've seen his talks. I'm sure we'll see at least one tonight. And finally, a neat little tidbit that I just learned yesterday while at Container Summit. Does anyone remember the store called Babbage's? Right? Now GameStop? Yeah. This guy used to be a greeter at Babbage's. So he might have sold you a Borland C++ compiler back in the day. I don't know. So anyways, I'm very excited to hear Bryan talk tonight, and take it away, Bryan.
Bryan, thank you very much. That is